Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, today, this one thing right here, I guess is kind of a three-part thing. Your ability to do this is really going to make or break you as an entrepreneur. And that is your ability to make a decision, to take action on that decision, and to analyze the results, okay? But the first part of that is to make a decision. And here's what I mean. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're trying to figure out, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I buy this product? Should I take this course? Should I, whatever, right? So we have to have the ability to make a decision and make a decision quickly. Does it mean that it will be the right decision? Well, you won't really know until you get to the part about analyzing the results. But the one thing that we have to do is we have to learn to trust our gut, our instincts to make those decisions. Because what happens is when you make a decision and then you start to hem and haw, right? Like I tell my husband, he is the what if king, because every time we, decide we're going to do something, okay, well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? And when I get frustrated, I finally say, well, what if the world ends tomorrow? We won't know until we actually do something. Okay. Because what happens is when you make a decision, the oldest part of our brain, the amygdala, starts to pick that decision apart. And the reason that yet your amygdala does that is that this is the oldest part of our brain that kept us safe, right? So what happened is way back in the day when we were, worried about, being an entree, right? We saw Joe go in the cave. Then we heard a bunch of screaming and Joe never came out again, right? So we know we don't go in the cave because it didn't work out for Joe. Or you saw, Jane over here, she ate this red berry off of this tree. Next thing you know, she was out for 3 days. Okay, nope, we don't want to eat that berry, right? So your amygdala kicks in because it wants to keep you safe. Because when you feel like, if your brain says, okay, danger, right? You really start to have an emotional response. You start to, you hear about the fight or flight. Well, what does the fight or flight do? Fight or flight takes all the blood from right here. This is your decision-making area of your brain. It takes all the blood from up here and it puts it into your large muscle groups because you're preparing to run. So just in case whatever's in that cave that ate Joe is getting ready to come out for you, your blood flow is shifting to all of those major muscle groups, to your legs, to your arms, because you're ready to fight off whatever's trying to eat you, right? Well, our brain does not know the difference between a real threat or a perceived threat. That is where the decision-making part comes in, and we have to learn to control those emotions by doing what? Once you make the decision, you act quickly. Like you hear people say, success loves speed. This is because you don't give yourself time to talk you out of that decision. Like I have lots of girlfriends who have come to me and say, you know what? Hey, I'm thinking about doing XYZ. And I very quickly remind them, listen, if you're looking for somebody to talk you out of it, I am not your girl. Because I'm saying, okay, let's go for it and see what happens. So not only after you make that decision to be able to act on that decision, right? Just go ahead and get her done. And then you figure out the next step later. What we try to do is we try to analyze every course of action to see, okay, well, if I do this, what's going to happen here? If I do this, what's going to happen there? We are not on the battlefield, okay? If you are in a war fighting situation, then yeah, you need to kind of figure out what could possibly go wrong with these courses of action so you can prepare yourself. Like if you go through this little narrow tunnel right here, well, yeah, you can probably get ambushed and there's nowhere for you to go. So you probably don't want to go there, right? We're not talking about being battlefield technicians. We're talking about making decisions in business, because a lot of times what we are concerned about is making a mistake. Well, that's just life. Okay, you're going to make mistakes. You make the best decision that is possible for you at that time, and then you act on said decision. And then your ability to analyze the results. Now, what happens is that if we make a decision and it fails, we take it personally instead of analyzing the results. Like right now, I have a Facebook ad that's running that totally stinks. All right. But what do I have to do? I have to go back and figure out what's wrong with the ad. Was it the ad itself? Is it the targeting that's wrong? I got to go back and figure it out. Does that mean that Facebook ads don't work? No. It just means that this particular ad did not work. Okay. But I made the decision. I took action. Now I got to analyze the results. And so what you have to do as a business owner is learn to trust your gut. If your gut tells you, hey, we should do this, don't give your brain time to talk yourself out of it. Let's take some action. And then once you take action, then you can change the course of that action. You can say, okay, nope, we probably shouldn't have went here. Next time, let's try to go this way. Right? And so we all face those decisions every day. We will not get them all right. But 9 times out of 10, the more times you practice making a decision, the better you will get at decision making and making this the best decision you can make. What we do is we got to try to have all the information. We got to have, okay, what temperature does it need to be outside? How does my hair need to look? Okay, do I need to wear, long sleeve or short sleeve? Okay, should we go in the morning or should we do it in the afternoon? We go through and we got to have all of the information. You got to get out of that. Because a lot of times it's just going to be your gut that's going to tell you, hey, this is the right thing to do. And the longer you suppress that, the harder it is going to be for you to trust yourself to make decisions. Can I tell you, I'm speaking from experience. Okay. Because what I have done in the past, and I will tell you with absolute transparency, is I substituted someone else's judgment for my own when it came to business. And if that was not the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life, and I will guarantee you right now that I won't let that happen again, because I learned to make decisions that were best for me, not best for the person that's telling me I should make XYZ decision. Okay? So you have to make sure that the decisions that you make are your decisions, not the decision that somebody has led you to. Right? You have to make that decision, because at the end of the day, if you are responsible for the decisions that you make or you don't make. Even not making a decision is a decision. Right? Decision. Let me break this word down for you. Decision. The root word is to decide. D means to cut everything else off. So when you make a decision, you're saying, this is what we're doing. We're not going to the left. We're not going to the right. This is what we're doing. And sometimes you have to talk to yourself out loud and say, this is what we're going to do. I have to do that. Like everybody wants to throw up pom-poms like, oh my gosh, Lysandra, you get up and work out every day. Like, no, I have to have a conversation with myself and it's like, no, this is what we're going to do. Because we like living, because we like looking good in our clothes, right? It had absolutely nothing to do with health. Okay. My stuff is from vanity. Okay. Let's be honest, right? My stuff is from vanity. But even still, I know that I have to work out to be healthy. And sometimes I just don't want to. But when I don't want to, I have to have a conversation with myself and say, this is what we're doing. And then we have to act on that. The we is me and the other person that doesn't want to do it. So when you're making a decision in business, your brain is going to try to talk you out of it. You have to be conscious and awake enough to say, no, this is what we're doing. Because see, what goes on out and back here, you have to speak differently out of your mouth, because what comes out of your mouth, it lands in your ear and it lands in your spirit. Okay. Again, I'm telling you from experience, not theory. So you do have to talk out loud to yourself to drown out the doubt that's back here. You just have to. Because at the end of the day, when you're making a decision in business, you're not gonna die. You may lose money, but you can get more money. You may screw it up, but you can learn the lesson. But the one thing that's not gonna happen is you're not gonna die. Nothing's going to come out and eat you if you run a crappy ad. Nothing's going to come out and eat you if you invest in a product that turned out to be crappy and it didn't sell. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to make the decision, to act on that decision, and then to analyze the results to see, okay, was this a good decision? How could we have made this better? Was this a crappy decision? Perhaps what's the lesson that we're learning from this decision? Okay, so people like, oh my God, I don't want to fail. Listen, you're going to fail at stuff. You're going to fail at business. Trust me, I know, right? You're going to make the wrong decision. Been there, done that. But at the end of the day, if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to repeat the same mistake. Life has a way of giving you the same test over and over again until you pass. It happens in life. It happens in business. But your ability to take the emotion out of that and to make that decision, act on it, and analyze the results is going to make or break you as an entrepreneur, because not everything is going to be so cut and dry. You're not going to see 6 weeks down the road, 6 months down the road, 6 years down the road. You can't see all that. All you can see is what's in front of you right now. And then when you get new information, then you can make a new decision. It's just that simple. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I really wanted to come out and share that with you because it's been on my heart to say that. And then it was solidified this morning when I'm reading Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I haven't read The Tipping Point yet. This is the first book I'm reading of his. But I promised you after I got back from my last event that I would come and give you more business building type things. And that's what this is. This is a business building thing, because see, as we grow in business, we're going to have to become different people to get to different levels. And the only way to do that is to start working on ourselves. And like I said, this making a decision is a foundational thing. You can't decide, okay, well, I'm going to wait until I make 6 figures and then I'm going to start making decisions. No, you got to make decisions right now, because that's what's going to get you to the 6 figures. And you're going to have the same decisions when you get to 6 figures. If you don't learn how to make them now, you're going to screw it up then, except it's going to have more dollar signs attached to it. So, all right. So I'm going to get off this soapbox. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And you can come here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.